cut it in.
Live from the CSI Soccer Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents exclusive CSI Dolphins women's soccer coverage. Today's matchup features the Clippers of Concordia College, New York, taking on the College of Staten Island. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Foreman, joined by Dave Pizzuto, bringing you all of the action live from midfield during today's game. And Dave, the Dolphins are coming in, having dropped their last game to William Patterson. That game got off to a pretty good start for the Dolphins. They went back and forth with the Pioneers early in the first half, but a late first half goal really turned that game around. What went wrong for the Dolphins in half number two?
Yeah, you know what? I think that late goal in that first half really got to the Dolphins a little bit. They were forced to approach the second half with a much more different mentality. They had to go for that equalizing goal right away. They got caught again very early in the second half, gave up that second goal, and then from there it became more more an attempt just to get on the register and just to score a goal instead of really making it a game. That late goal really hurt them. I thought as far as their shortcomings against William Patterson, I thought their set pieces needed a lot of work, Joe. The Dolphins had some opportunities there in the game, some free kicks deep inside the offensive zone, some corner kick opportunities as well. The Dolphins didn't get a lot of good scoring chances out of those set pieces. I think that's something that they've been working on, something that Coach Caceres wants to see here against Concordia.
Well, coming into the matchup with Concordia today, the Dolphins boast a record of 1-2. The Clippers a record of 1-2 as well. Both teams in search of win number 2 on the season. And for the Dolphins so far this year, they've surrendered 10 goals to the opposition, only scoring 5 goals of their own. Also, with that loss against the Pioneers in their last game, they have now matched their season loss total at home from last year. Dolphins were 7-1 at home during the 2018 season. They've fared very well at the CSI Soccer Complex over the last couple of years. So the Dolphins will hope to continue that trend here this afternoon against the Clippers in a matchup against a Division II opponent for the first time this year.
Yeah, and the women's soccer team is one of the sports, Joe, that they don't play a lot of Division II schools on their schedule in this first year. They have Concordia, they have Queens College a little later in the year. So this is really one of their first of a couple of litmus tests to figure out if they truly belong on the Division II stage. Obviously, a first-year Division II program. There are no scholarship players here at CSI this season. So this year is all about trying to make a strong case for next year and, of course, the year after. And in year number 3, when the Dolphins are out of that provisional stage, year number 4, I should say, that's when they really want to be super competitive in the Division II. For now, games like this are probably the most important games on their schedule because it truly is going to be a litmus test for them, a chance to see where they stack up against some of the local Division II talent, starting with, obviously, Concordia of New York.
And if last week's match between the Clippers of Concordia College and our men's soccer team is any indication, we are in for a very entertaining matchup today. That game ended in a 3-2 Clippers victory over the College of Staten Island in overtime. The golden goal scored with about 30 seconds to go in the first overtime period. But back to this women's Concordia Clippers team. They entered today's matchup with the Dolphins, as I mentioned, 1-2 on the season. But last year, with a record of 2-13. Things didn't go too well for Concordia College through their 15 contests, but they do return their 2 leading goal scorers, and through their first 3 games so far this year, they've already scored 5 goals. All of last season, the Clippers scored 7 goals, so they're within 2 goals of their total from last year. Things looking up for this Concordia Clippers team. They've also already registered their first win of the season, a double overtime victory over St. Thomas Aquinas, a 2-1 win on Saturday, a team the Dolphins will become increasingly familiar with, St. Thomas Aquinas as well, moving forward in women's soccer. The men, of course, already faced them in their last game. The men tied with St. Thomas Aquinas in their matchup earlier this week by a score of 1-1. But on the topic of women's soccer, the Dolphins, as I said before, taking on their first Division II opponent of the season. Both teams coming in looking to even their record at 2. Dave, what do the Dolphins need to do against the Clippers today?
Well, I think what we want to see from the Dolphins today, Joe, is a lot of strong fundamental play. You know, are they receiving balls well? Are they getting good first touches on the ball? Are they turning upfield and squaring their shoulders? Are they not lunging for loose balls? Are they not being caught, napping on the back end? Are they connecting on short passes, 5 and 10 yards? Those are the things you really want to see. You know, if you can't play good fundamental soccer, you can't play good soccer. It's just the way it works. And, the Dolphins want to kind of tie up some of the sloppiness at midfield. They want to win a lot of 50-50 balls, and they want to play good, strong, fundamental soccer. The rest of it will come in time. You know, we talk about Concordia having some returning talent, but a lot of freshmen. Same thing for the Dolphins. They have a lot of young faces on their team. There's still a lot of cohesion that needs to happen. There's still a lot of gelling that needs to happen, and that's what these first few games are for. Dolphins started the season off officially pretty strong against Penn, winning 3-2, but they've now lost 2 in a row. Concordia comes in having won their last game after dropping their last 2. So CSI trending down, Concordia trending up, and CSI hoping to reverse their fortunes now and start that upward climb again, especially here on their home field.
And you mentioned some of the sloppiness in the midfield for the College of Staten Island. And what we have seen is some of those miscues in the midfield and turnovers resulting in a big shot disparity between the Dolphins and their opponents so far this year. The opposition has taken 48 shots as opposed to only 28 for the College of Staten Island. And as I mentioned before, the Dolphins have been outscored 10-5 so far in this young season. Something else you mentioned, too, is the Dolphins looking for some cohesion with some of their younger players. And one of those players, Jordan Yagos, has already registered a goal for the College of Staten Island. That came in the win against Penn that you just referenced. I mentioned it in our last broadcast as well, but that goal helped Yagos secure CUNYAC Rookie of the Week honors for the opening week of the 2019 season. And she helped lead the Dolphins over Penn College in that 3-2 CSI victory. Angie Galan registered the assist in that, or an assist in that game, I should say. I believe she actually assisted that goal scored by Yago, so another young contributing player to this Dolphins roster. And I believe Mike and I counted it out last game. I think it's 11 freshmen on the CSI roster, so a lot of young talent on this College of Staten Island team, and they'll be looking some of that young talent in this matchup against the Clippers today to hopefully continue to come through and make big plays for them in what will be a big matchup on the Dolphins schedule.
Yeah, and I know one of the players that you just mentioned, Angie Galan, she's been the first-year player that I've been impressed with the most, Joe, through the first few games. She's a playmaker. She has speed on the wing, and she's one of those players, again, if she could start connecting all the pieces, if she could start completing plays, she could be a really dynamic player, especially skating down that right side and, getting balls in the box, pushing balls onto goal. She's gotten a little timid there in the final, 15, 20 yards of the field. But when we start to see her getting uncorked, I think she's a really dynamic player, and she's played pretty well through these first 3 games. Dolphins also have some good help in the back. Donnie Duca has played really well. Caitlin Askew has played well. So there have been some bright spots despite the 1-2 record and despite the 10 goals allowed. And, of course, Samantha Boudreau, the first-year CSI player, a sophomore transfer who didn't play at all last year. She's played really well these first 3 games. Her statistics may not seem it. She's given up over 3 goals a game and all that stuff, but she's making some good stops, and she's kind of controlling play in the final 18.
Plenty of reasons for optimism surrounding this College of Staten Island Dolphins team as the clock ticks down towards 0, and we will get our pregame underway in just a few minutes here from the CSI Soccer Complex. So Dave and I will wrap up our pregame. We will step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups for both sides for you and coverage of CSI Dolphins women's soccer, the College of Staten Island, taking on the Clippers of the Concordia College of New York. When we come back, CSI Dolphins soccer exclusively on CSI Sportsnet.
CSI Cobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Cobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one.
And we're back from the CSI Soccer Comps. Joe Foreman and Dave Pizzuto joining you from midfield at the College of Staten Island. Dolphins and Clippers are about to get underway from the College of Staten Island with the starting lineups for both sides. My broadcast partner, Dave Pizzuto.
All right, Joe, so we'll start off with, of course, the visiting Clippers from Concordia, New York. We'll take a look at their starters in numerical order. You see them on your screen now. The goalkeeper is number 1, Sophia Kogan. Number 2, Sarah Calvert. Number 4, Miranda Marino. Number 5, Morgan Carty. Number 6, Taylor Luxuro. Number 7, Leanne Ramsey. Number 10, Diana Moreno. Number 13, Abby Chappett. Number 14, Ashley Kuzlik. Number 15, Regan Pecci. And number 18, Jimena Garcia Risotto. For the College of Staten Island, we'll take a look at them in numerical order. They'll start with number 0, Samantha Boudreau in goal. And in numerical order from there, number 1, Callie Long. Number 4, Caitlin Askew. Number 5, Rebecca Deloya. Number 8, Nermina Bracic. Number 10, Donnie Duca. Number 14, Angie Galan. Number 18, Natalia Sandor. Number 19, Amber Mitchell. Number 24, Mersada Palinkovic. And number 28, Jordan Yagos.
And you mentioned during the pregame the numbers on the season for Samantha Boudreau, but in case some of our viewers missed it, Boudreau has started all 3 games for the College of Staten Island so far this year. She's allowed 10 goals in her 270 minutes between the pipes. She has saved 20 shots for a save percentage of 66.7, saving 2 out of the 3 shots that she has faced so far this year. And she'll be looking to her Dolphins teammates to put a little bit more pressure on the opposing goalkeeper in this one. That will be Sophia Kogan, as you mentioned before during the start. Again, will be helped out by a Concordia College defense that comes in, having played fairly well so far this season outside of one game. A tough loss to Queens College early in the year, but their defense has been much better since then. I believe they surrendered 6 goals in that first game against the Knights of Queens College, but have been far better than that since that game, and they'll be looking for more of that stellar defense against the College of Staten Island this afternoon.
Yeah, and probably the most notable factor of today's starting lineups, Mike, is that CSI's leading scorer, Samantha Laval, not in the starting lineup. But she is on the bench, so we did get a view of her. She is in the building, so to speak. And did I call it, what was the error?
Mike.
I called you Mike. All right, well, you sort of look like Mike a little bit, so.
Ouch. You just
what do you mean?
You added 30 years to me, Dave.
It's fine. It's fine.
You added 30 years at least.
All right, I'll say you look like a Mike. How's that?
Look like a Mike. I mean, put 30 years on.
I was talking to the thing in front of your face. It's a Mike, right? Anyway, Samantha Laval not in the starting lineup. She is on the bench, though, Joe, and she brings 3 goals with her, 3 of CSI's 5 so far on the season.
And we are underway from the CSI Soccer Complex. Ball quickly knocked over the far boundary by the Dolphins, and it will be a throw-in for the Clippers. Both teams enter today's action with a record of 1 win and 2 defeats. As the Clippers look to get on the attack early, that's Galan winning the ball for Staten Island. Clippers got a foot on her pass and regained possession. Ball chipped toward the box, but Boudreau is there. That pass intended for Calvert.
Yeah, and that's a nice job there by Concordia. Just, kind of testing Boudreau in goal, making sure she has good positioning. She was able to field that on a clean hop, and it keeps the CSI's defensive line honest too, Joe, just making sure that they're staying home.
Ball in the back now with Duca. She plays one toward the far sideline. Once again, the Clippers get in the passing lane, but this is Callie Long who comes up with it for the Dolphins, and she promptly turns it over in the midfield. But the Clippers give it right back. Here comes Rebecca Deloya. Deloya moving across midfield with some speed, finds Bracic. Bracic touches toward the middle of the field, nearly collides with Deloya, and is dispossessed. Palinkovic giving chase for the Dolphins. 2 teams fighting for it in the midfield. This is Long working against Moreno. Clippers have it as Bracic pursues from behind, can't get there. That one played toward the far sideline, and moving towards it is Leanne Ramsey. Now Galan for the Dolphins. Up to Yagos, and ball now with Amber Mitchell. And Ramsey forces Mitchell into the far sideline, but knocks it out. And it will be a Dolphins throw-in taken quickly over to Long. Long working against a pair of Clippers, and Ramsey goes down. Foul called against the Dolphins, or make that a throw-in. And it will be a Clippers throw-in.
Yeah, Clipper player went down, Joe, but no whistle there as they had possession anyway and able to reset with the throw-in, as they'll do here as well.
Coming up to take the throw-in is Morgan Carty. Throw-in to Garcia Risotto. Ball chipped toward the top of the box, nearly rolled over the shoulder of Sandor. That was nearly some trouble as that pass is intercepted, but Palinkovic comes in to take it away. Playing it up toward the near sideline. This is Bracic. Bracic looking to get by Chappett, and she cannot, as Chappett works it back into the center of the field for Marino. Pass once again intercepted by that Dolphins back line. It was Duca who plays it up to Pelinkovic. Now Bracic. Bracic surveying the field, looking for some space to play the ball through, and that one a bit too strong for Jordan Yagos. First touch of the day for Sophia Kogan, as she really put a lot of footwork into that punt.
It's the first time I've ever seen that, Joe. That was pretty nifty there.
I'm not quite sure what purpose that served, Dave, but had me thinking she was about to punt the ball far sooner than she actually did.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we spoke about, Samantha Boudreau, but Sophia Kogan has been pretty strong for Concordia on her end as well, even with the goals allowed. Her line this season, she's given up 2 2/3 goals per game, but she has made 22 saves and 2 starts plus, and her save percentage is well over 75%. So she's been busy and has had a lot of work to do in the 3 games that she's appeared in for Concordia.
Here come the Clippers on the attack, looking for a goal in support of Kogan, but Askew looking to deny that opportunity, working against Luxoro. Ball back up to Ramsey. Ramsey finds Calvert. Calvert shot is saved by Boudreau. I think she just got a hand on it before that ball contacted the post. Nicely done in goal by Samantha Boudreau, and it will be a Clippers corner kick.
Yeah, I think our viewers at some point will get another look at that one, but that was another turnover deep in CSI's defensive territory, ends up in a chance for Concordia, and they almost made it hold up here less than 5 minutes into the first half, Joe, and they're going to get a corner out of this. Like you said, we mentioned set pieces were going to be important in a game like this. We know Concordia's got some advantage with height here in the box. See what they can do.
Carty's corner toward the far post, headed on goal by the Dolphins, and that one is in. Yeah. That is an own goal as the College of Staten Island redirecting that ball from the far post straight into their own goal. A second Dolphin came over to try and keep it out, but could not. And the College of Staten Island has fallen behind 1-0 early, and that is a demoralizing start to this one for CSI. Very unfortunate break there for the Dolphins, as that ball really wasn't anywhere near the vicinity of a Clipper along that far post. The Clippers were mostly assembled in the center of the goal and along the near post as Mitchell, looking to make a push up the far sideline, plays one wide of the post. An easy play there for Kogan in goal, scooping it up. She actually let that roll over the touchline, and that will be a goal kick for the Clippers to be taken by Carty. Carty on that corner kick, the last Clipper to touch the ball before it found the back of the net. Here comes Concordia again, moving up the far sideline with speed is Luxoro. And Askew right there with her, knocking the ball over the boundary. Clippers throwing.
Yeah, Joe, we spoke in the pregame about how important it was for CSI to really be sharp with their fundamentals in a game like this. And, that whole, sequence started with the Dolphins with a ball that could very easily be played on the back line. That time it was Askew. She couldn't handle it. It ended up being a turnover at the top of the box. Turns out to be a great shot by Concordia. Boudreau makes a great save, and it ends up being a corner, and that's how they score. But it all starts because of a tough play defensively where they just could not clear the ball.
And the Clippers nearly had an opportunity for a bicycle kick right there, and it certainly looks like Moreno was thinking about it. Ball now just beyond midfield with the Clippers once again. That pass cut off by Deloya. That one intended for Bracic, knocked away. It's right back on the foot of Deloya. Here she comes. Deloya moving towards the center of the field, picking up some speed. Finds Bracic, but the flag is up for offsides.
Yeah, Bracic was a little ahead of the play, and the entire Concordia bench knew it. They were kind of communicating with the defensive line, saying, let her go off, she's off. And lo and behold, the flag goes up, and it is indeed an offside. So nice heads-up play by the Concordia defensive line. And if you're CSI now, Joe, you have to kind of press the issue and There's plenty of time left, but you have to think offense now because it's going to take 1 to tie and 2 to win.
And I mentioned right as we were about to get underway some of the numbers for that Concordia defense throughout the season. Of course, goaltending plays a big role in the goals scored tally as well. But against Queens in that first game, they dropped that result 6-2. Their next game against Pace, better result for them, a 3-1 defeat, and then a 2-1 victory over St. Thomas Aquinas in their third game. So over the last couple of games, they've allowed a combined 4 goals. Certainly a vast improvement over the 6 they allowed in game number 1. They've already put one up on the scoreboard here in today's game as the Dolphins nearly forcing a turnover. Do they draw a foul? No whistle, and play will continue as Yagos was met at the ball by Marino. It will be a Clippers throw-in along the far sideline deep in their defensive third. Throw-in toward midfield, headed by Ramsey. Was on the foot of Moreno for a moment, but she lost it as Callie Long finds Rebecca Deloya again. Deloya up to Yagos, and Yagos with a nice redirection of that ball towards Bracic. Bracic trying to work inside, beats her, moves in toward the top of the box, but she is met by Reagan Pecci, who knocks it over the near sideline.
Yeah, it seemed like Bracic, when she got that ball, was just a little timid to take it in, and that's an opportunity where she has some real estate and some green ahead of her. She needs to take that ball into the box and force Concordia to make a defensive play. I know she's waiting for numbers to come up, Joe, but when you're down by a goal and you get a lot of open space, you have to be able to take it.
Have to wonder if she was a bit hesitant making that run after seeing the whistle blown against her for offsides before as well. Perhaps a step slow making that move up the pitch as that's a good ball towards Galan. She comes away with it. Has help in the corner. That's Mitchell with her as Mitchell redirects back to Long. Long finds Galan. Dolphins looking for some space to work, having some trouble finding it as it's Long once again. Long over to Brach to the top of the box, and that's knocked away by Chappett. This is Calvert, met by Sandor. Ball now in the midfield on the foot of Moreno. As Sandor shoulders Calvert off the ball, and that will go down as a Dolphins foul.
You really get to see, and we have a really good, eye line on the, Concordia defensive line and their midfield line, and that's really how they play, Joe. They kind of work in swarms almost, where their entire line from right to left kind of moves together, and we're seeing that more on the defensive side, where the Dolphins get the ball in the attacking zone and the entire line kind of shifts up for Concordia. Makes them susceptible to breakaways if the Dolphins can time something onside, but otherwise it's pretty interesting to see from afar.
Bad turnover there by Askew, setting up an opportunity. This is Calvert. Calvert, left-footed shot, finds the back of the net, top shelf, just underneath the crossbar, inside of the left post, and it is 2-0 Clippers just over 10 minutes into this first half.
Yeah, and that's a nice job of moving the ball around for Concordia. Calvert had a nice look at it. She's able to put one in top shelf, and that's a nice goal for Concordia. Obviously, the only goal they've scored here, because the first one was a CSI own goal, but well-deserved. Concordia that time working it on the counterattack, getting a good rush up the field and a good look, and nothing Boudreau can do there. It was well placed, and even her outstretched arms couldn't make the save.
Here comes Amber Mitchell moving with some speed up the far sideline. Finds Yagos. Yagos couldn't get all of it, though. She was challenged aggressively in the box. And that shot easily saved by Sophia Kogan. As Deloya puts one by Kogan, play resumes quickly, and Deloya charges into the box and finds the back of the net. The lead has been cut in half. Our score now 2-2 Clippers.
All right, well, now we have a game again, Joe. The Dolphins get themselves right back in it as Deloya able to punch one home. A mad scramble in front. Concordia not able to get it out, and a nice job there by the Dolphins to get themselves back in it. Just less than 12 minutes into the game, we've already had 3 goals scored. It's been a fun first few minutes here, Joe.
This game not even 12 minutes old yet, and 3 goals up on the scoreboard as the College of Staten Island bounces back following a pair of tough goals. One obviously scored on their own net, and the other off of a costly turnover by Askew. So DeLoya has cut the Clippers' lead in half. It's 2-1 from the CSI Soccer Complex. We just hit the 33-minute mark on our clock here at the College of Staten Island. Time remaining in the first half, 33 minutes, as Laval tosses one in front, but nobody home there for the Dolphins, as losing her footing was Moreno. But she's able to gather herself and move it up to Calvert, as DeLoya, working against Pecci, forced to retreat a bit, but finds Callie Long just outside of the midfield circle. Dolphins moving backwards right now, as this is Duca receiving that pass from Sandor. Duca surveying, looking to play one up ahead. Laval make a run, but Laval unable to get there.
Yeah, and that offside flag never did come up, Joe. So if that ball was placed with a little bit less pace on it, Laval may have had a play on it.
Two teams fighting for it in the midfield circle.
Yeah, Concordia now trying to establish possession again. There was a big stretch here where they had almost total possession, and that's been relented a little bit as CSI has kind of evened the possession battle, although they're down on the scoreboard.
CSI hoping to change that soon, as it will be Duca to take this free kick. It's a short one over to Sandor, but she has some space. She's looking up toward Bracic, and the flag goes up once again as Bracic was positioned well offsides, waiting for that pass from Sandor. And you have to wonder perhaps if the Clippers are employing an offside trap in that situation, as they allowed Bracic to wait offsides for a good 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's what I said before, Joe, about being susceptible to the to the ball over top to beat the offside trap, because that's what Concordia is definitely doing. They're creating that line, cutting the field a little bit short.
Right there, they're swarming Sandor. They take it away. This is Moreno, as Sandor able to win it back. Good perseverance there by Sandor after she lost it to a pair of Clippers, but she turns it over again. And nearly signaled for the Clippers. They might not need it, as Calvert looking up ahead for Luxuro. Couldn't find her, but regains possession. That ball towards Ramsey, recovered by Galan. Ramsey giving chase as Galan moves toward the midfield circle. And good work there by Ramsey to knock it away from Galan, but the Dolphins gain possession for a moment once again, and now the Clippers headed back the other direction. Duca over to Askew, who gets run over as she attempted to clear the ball away. She did, and the foul was called. It will be another Dolphins free kick.
Yeah, both teams settling in a little bit here, Joe. Play has relented just a tad. They were going pretty fast and furious last few minutes.
A nice men's soccer contingent on hand for this one as well, gathered behind the Dolphins' goal. As that's sent toward midfield, and in the circle, it's Duca getting a foot on it for the Dolphins. Was able to redirect it towards Sandor, and Askew plays it back toward midfield. Now Bracic. DeLoya with it. Over to Sandor. Dolphins stringing together some quick passes as Bracic looking for Laval up ahead. Pass was knocked away, and the Clippers seem to be very well aware of where Samantha Laval is positioned on the field. Laval looking for a takeaway, but unable to get it, as that one just got by Bracic and onto the foot of Moreno. But the Clippers chip it ahead in between 3 Dolphins. Long couldn't chase that ball down. Possession now with Concordia. Here comes Ramsey. Ramsey fires a long shot right into the hands of Samantha Boudreau. That one certainly Boudreau's easiest save of the day, as she has been busy in net for the College of Staten Island so far.
Yeah, so Boudreau, not since those first couple of minutes. Obviously, she had no play on the goal that was scored against her, the second goal by Concordia. But, and that was another time where she had to get involved there up near the top of her small goal box.
Ball now in the midfield as Ramsey able to get it again.
Sorry, Joe, I was saying we were understanding that our audio was a little bit low, so it looks like we've gotten that taken care of. So we apologize if we've come over a little bit low, but our levels seem to have adjusted.
We project pretty well, so hopefully we're able to overcome it just a bit and at least give a goal call for the 3 early goals in this game. As that one's up toward Pelinkovic, she can run it down, and she does. Pelinkovic fires toward goal, and that one looked like it was outside of the goal frame. Not sure Kogan had to save it, but she does.
Well, we'll see. We'll get a replay on that one, but that was a good attempt by Mersada. Might have tucked under, perhaps. Kogan cut it off a little bit.
As DeLoya hits it softly toward the near sideline, and that ball travels over the boundary. Calvert looking for some help on the throw-in, and Callie Long able to knock it away.
Looks like we're going to have our first substitution in a few moments. It will be Concordia's sub.
Dolphins hoping that sub comes in a tie game as Galan moves up the far sideline, but she is met by another Clipper, able to work her way through. Long had it on her foot for a moment, now looking for Pelinkovic, and instead finds Bracic. Pelinkovic can certainly fire from there, but instead passes to Bracic, and Bracic weakly plays one toward the top of the box. No one there. But DeLoya able to recover it for the Dolphins. She's retreating a bit. Now moves forward with some speed, easily beating Calvert on the play, and here comes DeLoya again. DeLoya moves into the box. DeLoya getting closer, fires towards goal, and it's saved by Kogan.
Yeah, nice job by Kogan to cut the angle on DeLoya, who was screaming in from the left side. And that's what Rebecca DeLoya, the senior, brings to the table. She plays on the defensive line, but she has such great speed. She lends herself to the attack when she can, especially, Joe, obviously, when the Dolphins are down in the game. And she's very dangerous and very deceptive as part of that CSI back line.
Here come the Clippers once again. A good opportunity brewing here as that one is by Boudreau and wide, as I think that is Garcia Risotto who went down. The official taking a look as the horn finally sounds for the substitution. And as Dave mentioned before, it is a Clippers substitution. Cassandra Ian Tomasi entering the game, replacing number 14, Ashley Kuzlik. And a golden opportunity went by the wayside right there for the Clippers, as they had as clean a shot on goal as you could ask for, but instead the ball traveled wide. Boudreau got caught in an incredibly tough position by no fault of her own, as the ball was played through the Dolphins' defense and onto the foot of Garcia Risotto. She appears okay after going down on the play as the Clippers look to get back on the attack. Instead, they'll retreat back beyond midfield, look to get started again.
Yeah, if this ends up, being a very close game later on, we'll look back at that play and a missed opportunity that time for Concordia. Boudreau was beaten, and so was the CSI defense, but Concordia could not make it hold up. And again, that comes as a result of a strong counterattack by Concordia, kind of allowing CSI to penetrate a little bit and, taking advantage of poor numbers in the back. And that's where Concordia was able to kind of register.
Throw-in headed away for a moment by DeLoya as Ramsey moves in toward the middle of the field. Again, the ball gets behind the Dolphin defense. This is Luxuro giving chase, but Boudreau decisively comes off her line and gets on top of it. Boudreau will take her time here. She looks to punt it towards midfield. Bracic waiting for it, knocks it down, and plays it up ahead to Laval, but a better play defensively there. Getting a foot on it by Marino. Laval may still come away with it, but it's Marino again getting there to prevent Laval from having another opportunity in close. Mitchell on the far sideline. That one by Galan, and it will roll over the far sideline as the horn sounds once again, and we will have a pair of substitutions.
Yeah, and for Concordia will be number 17, Lindsay Whaley will come in. She's a freshman, and for the Dolphins, they'll bring in one of their seniors, Lisbeth Aparicio, who will come in to replace Nermina Bracic. Aparicio, normally a part of that defensive line. She's a normal starter for this team, but coming off the bench in this one after 21 minutes and change, she'll see her first look.
Ramsey up ahead to Ian Tomasi as Askew battles with Lindsay Whaley, who just checked in for possession. Luxoro was giving chase, and the whistle blows.
Yeah, it's an excellent foul, Joe. Excellent foul. I mean, you have low numbers in the back. It's a 3-on-2 developing. There's two options there. You either clear the ball or put the girl on the ground and restart here with a free kick. So that's a good foul by the Dolphins.
See if the Clippers can make anything of this. They've had several good opportunities already. 4 shots on goal and one that traveled just wide, which arguably was their best opportunity of the game.
Ian Tomasi looks like she's going to be the one to spot this one up, Joe.
It will indeed be Ian Tomasi as she fires a shot that skips in front of Boudreau, but she got the gloves on it and prevented a bad hop from turning into trouble. Nicely done in goal by Boudreau.
Yeah, it's like one of those short hops that shortstops get in baseball, Joe, and Boudreau was able to keep her body in front of it, play it off a little bit of a hop in front of her off her hands. Nice job by the young sophomore.
As that one a bit too long for Whaley. And the Dolphins will throw in.
Been a real quick moving first half. I mean, obviously the goals are a nice touch and plenty to be excited about, but it's been well played back and forth like a tennis match, and Concordia for the last 2 or 3 minutes has really dominated play in their offensive zone, CSI's defensive zone.
Whistle blows, foul called. Dolphins free kick up coming. Duca to take it once again. Duca with a long free kick up towards Galan, knocked up in the air by Calvert as Luxoro and Askew fight for it. Now Pelinkovic trying to get a foot on it, cannot, as the Clippers play it back toward their own goal. Sandor quickly throwing in, and Pelinkovic is there. Here comes Mirsada Pelinkovic, moving into the left side of the box once again. Pelinkovic running out of real estate, but she earns the Dolphins a corner kick. Nicely done there by the Dolphins on the throw-in.
But that's exactly what you need to do when you're on that sideline, Joe, and you get that pass. You have to meet that ball and continue working, towards that near post, and that's exactly what Mirsada Pelinkovic did, and she's going to earn herself a corner out of it, and we talked about how important these set pieces are. Let's see what the Dolphins can do.
And the corner, not a good one, as that one may have found the goal frame as well, but it's knocked away by the Clippers over the near sideline. Quick throw in taken by Pelinkovic, redirected by Long towards Laval. Laval might have gotten a foot on it as Mitchell continues to fight for possession, and a weak shot is saved. And I do apologize if your audio may have been a bit booming there. I'll have to keep in mind that we have a very sensitive sound system right now.
Well, that's what happens when you project well, Joe. We come in low and high, but exciting play, and that's what will happen when you get that sort of flurry in front of the box.
Here's Angie Galan. Galan trying to dribble her way past her marker. That was Ian Tomasi, but she could not. Pelinkovic to throw in, finds Sandor. Sandor chips it up in the air, and Galan will not be able to get there.
Yeah, and that's part of those set pieces that we talk about, Joe. Even throw-ins, they're set pieces as well. And, that time the Dolphins have a throw-in deep in Concordia territory. They're not able to play the 50-50 ball, and so Concordia gets it back here, and they'll have the goal kick as a result.
This is Ian Tomasi. Finds Whaley. Whaley looking to work her way around Pelinkovic, and that's a tough whistle.
Yeah, it seems like, two players moving towards the ball. They have equal rights to it, but Pelinkovic might have gotten there a hair late, and so free kick for Concordia.
I don't often issue apologies on the air, Dave, but I've definitely at least one viewer inside the building, as my phone now being hit with text messages from some of our loyal viewers. One being Charles Gomes back in the office.
Charles wants to know why you're yelling at him. It's very fair.
We'll have that sorted out by our next home game. As the Clippers work it up the far sideline, but a pair of Dolphins there waiting. This is Duca, and that one's played ahead by Pecci, headed toward the corner. That was Aparicio meeting Luxuro down in the corner. Clippers throw in. Ramsey working against a pair of Dolphins. Very physical defensive play there. Arms locked as Ramsey gets a shot off and scores. I cannot believe that Leanne Ramsey was able to get that high quality a shot off through two Dolphins defenders, but she did just that and puts the Clippers ahead 3-1.
Yeah, Joe, she didn't have a big window at all with which to shoot that, and it just goes to show if you allow good shooters the space and opportunity to get shots off, those are the things that will happen. That is a tremendous shot and a great goal there by Concordia. They now score their third of the game, and that's a season high for them. 3 goals in this one so far, and we still have 17 minutes to go in the first half, and Concordia back again up by a pair of goals.
This is Long over to Sandor. Sandor moving ahead, got by Whaley, looking for Galan, and that ball a bit too long for Galan. She had a lot of space to work with, but the pass from Sandor too far out in front.
Yeah, we get a nice look at that replay of that goal that happened just moments ago.
This is Sandor once again. She's been busy in this first half in the midfield as she plays it across to the far sideline, hits Aparicio in stride. Mitchell got a piece of it, able to run it down, and knocking it away for a moment was Carty. And that's over the far boundary. Throw in for the Dolphins. Aparicio to take it. Long gets ahead on it, but it's quickly cleared away by the Clippers. Duca meets Luxuro just beyond midfield. It's chipped ahead. Here comes Whaley, and physical play there defensively by Askew wins the ball for CSI. Sandor to Long. Back to Deloya. Deloya looking for Laval, and all over it was Marino.
Dolphins have to bring that ball up, Joe, up meaning up in the air, because we've been talking about Concordia's offside trap, for the first 30 minutes of this first half, and the only way to beat it is to go over top of it. You can get some through balls through, but I think the better play here is to try to go over top of the defense.
Pelinkovic working against a pair of Clippers, and Concordia comes away with it. Long got a foot on it, but the Clippers maintain possession, chipped ahead toward Ramsey. Aparicio giving chase. Ramsey fires high and wide as Boudreau was closing in as well. And we will have a Dolphin substitution. Nicole Mignon for Callie Long after another good scoring opportunity for Concordia.
Yeah, at first I thought Boudreau might have gotten a fingertip on it, but that just simply went wide. But again, Joe, with defenders to her right and her left being harassed, Ramsey able to get off another rocket, and that one just goes over top and right of goal.
Good work here by Whaley trying to turn with it, but better job by Deloya not allowing her to do so, and Deloya wins the Dolphins possession as they will throw in inside of 14 and a half minutes to play in half number 1. Deloya's throw through the legs of 2 players, Galan and Calvert, and quickly ball out of play once again. CSI throwing upcoming, Deloya to take it.
And Joe, we should mention to our viewers that the time that they see on the broadcast is the unofficial time, so official time will be kept on the field by the officials. Obviously, we will keep it as close as possible.
Well, my mistake. That was a Dolphins free kick off of a foul. Didn't hear the whistle blow to my right, as it does blow right in front of us once again. Pelinkovic takes that free kick. Sandor looking for Galan. Galan might be able to run this one down. She does. She turns around, looks to get it to Pelinkovic, and that one deflects off of Pelinkovic and out of play, throw-in for the Clippers.
Yeah, Dolphins finding it hard to penetrate from the wings in. They haven't been really getting any crosses in the box. They've been utilizing possession.
Here comes Amber Mitchell. Mitchell fires it, save. Following it up is Laval, but Laval rolls into the net as it was initially saved by Kogan. Credit the goal to Amber Mitchell, her first of the season. The Dolphins are back within one.
Wow, Joe, that was a big-time turnover by Concordia. It allowed Mitchell some space, and she maximized that space. She put the ball. That was a great save by Sophia Kogan, but she didn't get enough of it to slow it down enough so that it would go in. And the Dolphins, for the second time today, have cut the 2-goal lead in half, and now it's a 3-2 game. If this game wasn't fun already, it's gotten a lot more fun. Dolphins are right back in it again.
A 5-goal first half as Laval looks to make it 6. She's onside. Here comes Samantha Laval. It's saved again by Kogan, as Laval may have had a bit more time and space to work with. Did not get a strong shot off there.
Yeah, she was flying in, and she managed to get just enough of a touch on it to try and put it past Kogan, who was moving to her right. She put it to the left. Not enough on it to get it to push it to that inside near post, and Concordia dodged a bullet there as they retain the 1-goal lead.
Here comes Mitchell, and is she fouled? No, as she is tackled aggressively from behind.
Well, Dolphins will get a corner out of this, Joe, so another opportunity here. They haven't had a lot of these. Obviously, there's only the second corner of the first half, but they haven't had a lot of these plays developing with crosses into the box. Let's see what they do here. It will be Pelinkovic, the usual kick taker, to take this one.
The corner by Pelinkovic toward Mitchell, headed away by the Clippers. Duca overlapping, trying to come down to the top of the box, knocks the ball down. Duca continuing to work down around the corner as Pelinkovic sends across way too long, and that will travel over the touchline.
Yeah, we'll get substitutions coming in now for the Clippers as they'll get some fresh bodies in there. Caitlin Ziemba will come in, and number 20, Alexa Krowich, will come in. We've got over 11 minutes to play here in the first half. This game really has swung like a pendulum, Joe. Both teams have kind of set up possession in long spurts, and it's kind of the Dolphins' turn now.
DeLoya looking to chase that ball down into the corner, and with nowhere to go with it appeared, was Ian Tomasi, but was able to clear it out, not concede the corner. The Dolphins do gain possession back as Galan finds DeLoya. DeLoya with a nice move toward the inside, looking for Laval. It's knocked down. Marino looking to clear. Mignon knocks down the clearance. Aparicio with a nice play to keep possession on this side of the field. But the Clippers, once again, coming away with it. Weak touch there by Calvert. Got enough of it, but it's turned over, and now Galan. Nice move by Galan. Finding DeLoya. CSI moving in reverse here as Askew chips it up toward Galan and out of play.
Joe, while we have a little break, we want to say hello to some other folks on the CSI campus who are listening to us. My wife, Jennifer, is with Anita Lorenzo, who's a normal here for us in CSI Athletics. They're listening from the CUNY Start offices in Building 4N, checking out our live stream, and they've got themselves a good one. 3-2 here between Concordia and the CSI Dolphins. CSI's first game officially against an NCAA Division II school since turning Division II themselves this summer.
Hopefully they were not watching with headphones earlier in the game, as that one sent toward goal, and that was trouble, as Boudreau wasn't going to be able to reach it. Fortunately for the Dolphins, it's wide.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Concordia is not bashful about about winging it and sending some balls towards frame. We saw that right in the opening couple of seconds when Boudreaux had to make her first stop of the game on a one hop. But since then, Concordia is going to take their shots, and they're going to maximize every opportunity with the open windows in front of them. As CSI looking to control the 50-50 action here near midfield, as we're going to have studs up on the Concordia player, so the Dolphins will get themselves a free kick out of this one as we are under 10 minutes to play here in the first half. We reached single digits.
Duca once again taking the free kick for Staten Island. It's a low line drive toward Mitchell. It's knocked away by the Clippers. Mignon over to Aparicio. Aparicio taps it softly back to Mignon, who makes Ramsey miss. Gives it back up to Aparicio. That pass attempt is blocked in the box and cleared away by Marino. Aparicio again looking to move down toward the corner and cross it in, but her cross attempt was knocked down, and it'll be a throw-in for Concordia.
Yeah, and the Dolphins doing a lot of lineup shifting as well, Joe. They started the game with Deloy on the back line, and then she immersed herself in the front near the left forward position as we have Ramsey now on a break.
Here comes Ramsey looking to make Askew miss, and instead Askew able to force her over the far boundary. Askew did get a foot on it, so it's a Clippers throw-in, taken quickly. It's chipped up in the air. That one a bit too high for Ziemba, and that one rolls over the touchline for a Dolphins goal kick.
Yeah, and just to finish my thought, Joe, Rebecca DeLoya has since gone back to that back line. She's in the left back position, and when the Dolphins put Lisbeth Aparicio in, a normal defender, she's now in the top right of the field playing, a right attacking midfield position. So Dolphins are, kind of, shuffling the puzzle pieces a little bit and putting players in different positions, and they have three players right now up top, Galan, Mitchell, and Laval, in a three-forward set that we don't see often from the Dolphins.
Pelinkovic plays it ahead, but nobody home as Laval and Galan were stationed directly to her right. Pass attempt intercepted by Sandor. Sandor taps it over to DeLoya, who could not keep it in.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the Concordia defense has done pretty well, Joe. Even though they have given up a couple of goals, is they've been funneling the attack over to the corner flags. They really kind of have this funnel defensive system where they're just leading attacks that are coming right from the middle of the pitch up to the corners. As we're going to have a foul on Mignon here.
Seen quite a few whistles in this first half so far. I'll have the foul tally on my screen in just a moment. You might beat me to it.
Yeah, 4 each.
Free kick to be taken by Abby Chaput. Just over 6 minutes to play in the first half. Chaput's free kick redirected off the head of Lanza. Aparicio swings and misses at it. It's chipped up in the air as Boudreaux able to grab it and deny the Clippers an opportunity.
And it's like a Concordia player getting up very gingerly near the official. Time has been called on the field with officially 5:47 to go.
And the trainer has been waved onto the field.
And I believe that is
Ziemba, Dave.
Number 9, Caitlin Ziemba, yeah. And she's getting helped off by one of her teammates, and CSI trainer Allison Ocasio has come on to help her off, and it looks like it will be a substitution of coming here as Caroline Frank will come in to replace Ziemba. And because of that substitution, Joe, it will give the Dolphins a chance as they bring in Churko, and she'll replace Kaylin Askew.
Well, you hate to see that, as it looks like the knee is already wrapped for Ziemba. Hopefully she didn't re-aggravate an existing injury.
The good news, though, is that she is operating under her own power, so that's always a good sign.
Whistle blows and play resumes with about 5:40 to go in this first half. 3-2 our score, a high-scoring affair from the CSI Soccer Complex. That was turned over by Mitchell. Moving with speed is Whaley. She has open space now. But that one will travel wide of goal. And there to play it out of the air is Boudreau.
And as they shake up the lineup even further, Joe, now we notice Amber Mitchell, who was playing a right forward position, now playing left back for the Dolphins, and Rebecca DeLoya has moved from left back to now center back. So the Dolphins continue to move the pieces around the field.
Throw in by Aparicio. As to your point, Dave, we've seen quite a few substitutions as Laval goes down.
And she has a lot to say about it, too, to the official. She wanted a whistle on that one, and official heard her out there for a few moments, and we'll see what happens.
Laval not typically on the receiving end of a fall like that. Typically powers her way through defenders and takes them down on occasion as Galan giving chase toward the corner. Can't get there.
Yeah, we have less than 5 minutes here to go in this first half. Very exciting and eventful first half. Probably most exciting game here of the season on Sportsnet for sure. Back and forth play. Lots of momentum building up on both sides in spurts, and a couple of really nice goals too.
We saw a 3-2 thriller between the men's soccer teams from both of these schools. Played here 1 week ago today, and this one shaping up much the same as that one. Too long for Whaley. Dolphins will throw in with under 4 minutes to play. It's Mitchell to take the throw in. That one didn't have much on it. It's chipped up in the air.
Thought it was actually an illegal throw, Joe, as it kind of slipped out of her hands as she was winding up for it.
Sure looked like it. It would explain why that ball didn't travel more than a few feet on the throw. It looked like she was trying to find Galan, but instead spiked it right down into the ground as she lost possession of it for just a moment. So the Dolphins will now take a goal kick. Samantha Boudreau sends one short of midfield, headed by Ramsey. Whaley giving chase, and Mitchell cuts her off nicely. Mitchell with a good move to avoid the challenge, finds DeLoya. DeLoya had some space, but nearly turns it over. Sandor and Calvert both go down. Foul called. Another free kick upcoming for the Clippers.
Yeah, that time a nice job by Calvert and then Whaley before her of not letting the Dolphins turn towards goal, turn towards their attacking goal. And another turnover for the Dolphins deep in the zone. And, we've seen what Leanne Ramsey can do, rocketing balls from this distance. Let's see if she decides to go right towards goal or bend this one in far post.
We've seen a couple of perfect shots get by Boudreau. Not much she could have done as Ramsey sends one well wide. It's headed toward goal. Nearly getting a foot on it was another Clipper as the whistle blows. And a foul was called against Concordia, chasing that ball down. I think in the box, that was Lanza who nearly got a foot on it, and I believe the whistle was blown against her.
Yeah, and Samantha Boudreau had to play Matador on that one, Joe, as she had Lanza bearing down on her, kind of just skipped out of her way as Lanza was called for the foul.
Ramsey has been very active in this first half, as you just mentioned. Just gave it up right there, but took that free kick, which nearly generated another Concordia opportunity. Time running out in the first half, 1:40 to play officially. As that one is once again sent over the near sideline.
Concordia's also done a nice job defensively on Samantha Laval, Joe. She hasn't been getting a lot of touches, and when she has, it's been for very brief moments and not allowed to kind of establish possession at her feet. And that's where she's the most deadly.
Another whistle blows, and we'll have another CSI free kick to be taken by Duca. We're approaching 1 minute to play. Dolphins hoping for one last opportunity to perhaps get even before the end of the half. That may help them out a bit, as they will have a throw-in.
Yeah, a couple of last-second rushes here, as public address has let the fans know that we're under a minute left. Of course, official time on the field and not on your clock on the screen.
Mignon trying to win it back for the Dolphins as the clock winds down toward 30 seconds, and this could be trouble as Ian Tomasi looking to play it toward the middle of the field, and a nice play there by Duca.
Yeah, definitely a nice job to that was a 3-on-2 developing the other way for Concordia, and Duca very wise there to just spill that one out of bounds, wait for some more white shirts to get down the field.
Well, the official just got his first touch of the game as the ball was headed right into his chest along the near sideline, helping keep play.
Everyone gets to play in this one.
Moving along. I nearly got a touch on one that rolled over here as Mitchell then takes one to the face. Hands on her knees, might be a bit shaken up, but hopefully she's okay as that wraps up the first half. With the Dolphins trailing 3-2, Dave, a very exciting first half here from the CSI Soccer Complex. Plenty to look forward to in half number 2.
Yeah, that was a great first half. We got really treated to a good one. A lot of offense, good defense when it mattered. We saw some goalkeeping in between. 11 total shots on goal. 5 of them landed and hit some twine. So we got a good one. And, Joe, if the second half is anything like the first, this is still anybody's game. It's 3-2 Concordia.
These two teams putting on a show. Be sure not to miss the second half between the Dolphins and the Clippers. When Dave and I come back, we will have halftime stats, first half analysis, and a look ahead toward the second half, as we will have a 15-minute intermission between the first and second half of play. Once again, when we come back, coverage of half number 2. This is exclusive CSI Dolphins women's soccer coverage on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com.
Hi. May I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hi. May I please have an application?
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
We're at halftime here between the CSI Dolphins and the Concordia New York Clippers. The score here at halftime is 3-2. Concordia has led 2-0 and 3-1 in this game. The Dolphins have worked their way back to within one. We are at halftime, and we're going to take an extended break. When we come back, halftime stats, and we'll get you ready for half number 2 right here live from the College of Staten Island. It's Concordia 3 and the Dolphins 2. Stay with us.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels.
I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels.
I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we're back from the CSI Soccer Complex. A very entertaining first half as the Dolphins trail the Clippers 3-2. And Dave, it looked like the Dolphins might see this game get away early. They fell behind 2-0. One of those 2 goals scored was on their own net, but a lot of credit to the Dolphins as they bounce back.
Yeah, you know what? 2 goals in the first 10-plus minutes of the game too, Joe. So the Dolphins were behind, and they were behind early, and they got a real quick answer from Rebecca Deloya, and it looked like to that point, the Dolphins really hadn't established much possession at all. They hadn't gotten any opportunities to that point. And then Rebecca Deloya was in the right place, right time, was able to get a turnover and, put it into the goal to make it a 1-goal game. And then when Concordia took full advantage again and went up by 2, Dolphins had another answer again, this time with Amber Mitchell off of a turnover. So, the Dolphins have just been, kind of going at it, and they've been winning balls. They've been establishing possession for 2 and 3 minute spurts at a time, and it's been a game of back and forth play. The Dolphins have been moving their lineup around a lot in the first half, and we're getting a lot of different looks, a lot of different players at the front and at the back. It's been really exciting.
It has been, Dave. A lot of new faces in this Dolphins lineup. As we mentioned during the pregame, many of them seeing action in that first half. But back to the point that you made about the way play was back and forth in that first half. It was really a first half where the story was critical turnovers and miscues, as the Dolphins, of course, scoring on their own net. It doesn't get much bigger than that in terms of miscues, but we saw a costly turnover in the back as well, resulting in that second Clippers goal, and then back the other way. The second Dolphins goal came directly as the result of a takeaway. That one by Amber Mitchell, as she was aggressive defensively, taking the ball away and taking it right toward goal and scoring, powering her way through, and got enough on the shot where even though it was saved initially by Kogan, the ball rolled over Kogan and into the back of the net with Samantha Laval in hot pursuit as well. So the College of Staten Island both benefiting and seeing a turnover prove costly against them in that first half, but turnovers were certainly an issue for both sides, especially down around their own goal.
Yeah, and sometimes going into games, you always think about, who's going to be the person to step up and take over offensively, and sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's about who's going to be at the right place at the right time, who's going to stay disciplined and going to be in the right position so that when there is a turnover at the top of the box, when there is a loose ball in front, who's going to be responsible and who's going to be there to kind of pick up from another team's mistake. And, Concordia benefited, from a huge mistake in the beginning of the game when CSI obviously scored in their own goal on what should have been a clear out right on their goal mouth, and instead it goes into the goal for for a 1-0 quick Concordia lead. But every goal after that, Joe, just like you mentioned, were the result of either defensive miscues or players just being in the right place at the right time. And we get 4 goals to show for it since that own goal, and Concordia just with the one goal lead. And in a game that was back and forth and where both teams looked like they dominated possession in stretches, this could really go either way.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that goal by Leanne Ramsey once again. As she powered her way through a pair of Dolphins, I was in disbelief that she was able to get a shot off at all. But not only did she get a shot off, it was a tremendous shot into the top left corner of the net, giving Samantha Boudreau absolutely no chance to save it. And while we have about a minute left before the start of the second half, we'll take a look at some more first half stats for both sides. Concordia in that first half with 8 shots, Staten Island with 7, corners 2-1 in favor of the Dolphins, and fouls 6-5, the Clippers committing 6 and the Dolphins committing 5 fouls in that first half. And I'm straying a bit off topic here, but looking at that box score from the men's game yesterday on the road, another very entertaining game, the men tying St. Thomas Aquinas 1-1, but in that game there were nearly 40 fouls committed in what was a very physical affair. You and I got a chance to watch it, and while we have a few seconds before the women get back underway in the first half, we should mention that our men's team also took on this Concordia Clippers team as well, in what was a very entertaining game. Of course, that one comes to an end in overtime, but yesterday another very entertaining game, and what has been an ongoing theme throughout the season, both home and road games for the most part have been hotly contested, very entertaining games that we've had covered here on CSI Sportsnet throughout the year and that our teams have taken on the road. And the horn interrupts me as we're about to get underway in the second half. But my point is, stay tuned. We could be in for another very exciting half of soccer.
Yeah, it's been great. And the games that CSI, whether it's the men's or the women's team, have played against Division II competition especially, have been really strong. You know, even when the CSI men lost to Adelphi last week on Friday, they lost that game 6-1. Adelphi, the number 2 ranked team in the entire nation. But that game was 0-0 at halftime, and it's a game that you saw obviously via the live stream, where you said in the first half, play was about even. Dolphins had their opportunities, had a couple of rushes down the field as well. So these games, especially against Division II competition, have been fun. They've been exciting, and CSI has been right in each game. So I'm sure we have another 45 minutes that are going to hold true to that.
And I think a big focal point for the Dolphins here in the second half needs to be not allowing this one to get away from them. We've seen games get away from the College of Staten Island in the second half already this year, one of those being their last matchup against the Pioneers of William Patterson. The Dolphins hoping to avoid such a fate once again as we are underway in half number 2 from the CSI Soccer Complex. Dolphins and Clippers, Staten Island trailing 3-2 as we resume play. And play will resume with the ball in the midfield, both teams fighting for it. Here's Ramsey. Ramsey over to Moreno, and a very early shot on goal, but that was an easy save for Boudreau as the ball bounces right into her arms. Boudreau punts it out toward midfield, a long punt over a couple of Dolphins, and it finds Marino in the back. Marino and Moreno both out there for the Clippers. Thought I should make that distinction as it is Miranda Marino and Diana Moreno in the lineup for Concordia College, as Jordan Yagos had it for a moment and regains possession, passing it over towards Aparicio, but she couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, we didn't hear a lot from Jordan in that first half. Not a lot of touches, and Dolphins, of course, with Lisbeth Aparicio coming off the bench in this one as well, playing more near the attacking side. Seems like she's back into her normal defensive position as the Dolphins, who've been moving things around lineup-wise, Mike, look to have Yagos, Laval, and Bracic back up top in the forward positions.
And that one rolls over the touchline once again.
Sorry, Joe. We see. Did I call you Mike again?
You did.
I did. Okay. That's all right. It's going to take a while. We're not used to working together. That's what it's all about.
It's been a long time. I think we get enough of each other in the office.
I mean, can't you just change your name to Mike? It would make things a lot easier for me.
Can't do that, but we do have the surplus of Joes around here. We have 2 at the scorer's table right now, 1 on camera. So
that's right.
We could use a mic down here, whether it be Bebuski
Well, at the end of the broadcast, I'm just going to thank Joe, and everybody will be covered.
You got it. As Kogan meets Laval, and that one nearly turned into a Dolphins opportunity. A dangerous play there by the Clippers, but Kogan couldn't put her hands on it. As Sandor able to gain control. That one passed over to Aparicio. Aparicio moving down toward the corner. And a soft pass intended for Yagos. Never really had a chance of getting there, and that's cleared.
Yeah, Dolphins on their back line. Go with Deloya. They'll go with Askew and Duca. So really only 3 true defenders in the back, and playing a defensive midfield is Callie Long, who exited in the first half, comes back to start the second.
Ball up in the air, waiting for it with Sandor. Headed it toward a couple of Clippers, who once again send it over the near sideline. Aparicio to throw. A long throw-in, and the Clippers will concede the corner kick. And not a good play there by Concordia, as the Dolphins throw-in was way too long. I'm not sure Laval had any chance of getting there, but regardless, that brief touch right along the boundary sends it out of play, and Pelinkovic gets set to take a corner kick for the Dolphins. Corner kick from Pelinkovic, CSI's third, as Yagos nearly got a piece of it. Dolphins chipping it toward goal, and Laval, or I should say Duca, excuse me, nearly took a boot to the face as Pelinkovic crosses one, and waiting for it is Aparicio. Aparicio has a chance, finds Laval, and she scores as the Dolphins keep play alive in front. Nicely done there by Duca, initially chasing that ball down in front, then tracking it down deep away from the goal, chased it down, sent it across goal. A nice cross found the foot of Aparicio, who assists Laval to knot things up at 3.
Yeah, you know, that all starts, Joe, with that corner kick that Pelinkovic did a great job with, putting right in the middle of the goal mouth. Yagos almost had a turn on it, and that forced Concordia to kind of scramble around, try to get the ball away. And, you know, we talked about Lisbeth Aparicio not playing in her usual defensive side, lending herself up to the attack. Right place, right time, far post, and she finds a wide open Samantha Laval in front, and there was no doubt about it. Less than 5 minutes into the second half, Joe, it's essentially a 0-0 game again.
I think we'll have to credit 2 assists on that goal to Duca and Aparicio, as Duca, with a nice cross, found Aparicio positioned along that far post. Aparicio then with a nice pass to Laval. And what a game this has been, as the 2 teams have put 6 goals up on the scoreboard. We're only 4 minutes into the second half as that's sent toward goal, and Boudreau picks it up on a hop.
And for Laval, that'll be her 4th goal of the season, and I believe it'll be the first points for Duca. That's her first assist of the season, and the same for Lisbeth Aparicio. So they get themselves into the scoring column for 2019, and for Laval, her team-leading 4th goal of the season. So we had a foul here on CSI's defensive side as they're looking to go over top, and Laval's open.
And Laval gets taken down.
Yeah, swept off the ball. Good defensive play that time by Concordia, and there to pick up the pieces is Sophia Kogan.
Here comes Deloya. Deloya moving in with speed. She has space and runs out of real estate. As a nice job there by Kogan to cut off the angle on the pass.
Yeah, that time Deloya just could not elevate that ball past the goal mouth. Laval was waiting there for the opportunity, but Kogan had good positioning, was able to cut it off. Teams battle again in the middle as Ramsey's getting one of her first touches of the second half.
And we will have another throw-in, as this time it will be the Clippers in a dangerous spot. Ball now sent in, and that's high and wide as it travels over the touchline. Dolphins goal kick upcoming, and that opportunity squandered quickly by the Clippers.
Yeah, that was Carty who had a turn on it and might have been looking far post in the corner. And you know what, Joe, Concordia has the shot lead in this game, 9-8, but all of the Dolphins' shots in this game have been on goal, and that's something that we're not used to seeing, really, for any team.
As this one's headed towards us, and a bit wide, as it will be another Clippers throw-in to be taken by Carty. Aparicio gets a body on it. That one chipped in dangerously towards Luxuro. Coming away with it was Moreno. Sent across by Pecci, and running it down was Ian Tomasi. Dangerous in front as Deloya is just able to keep it out. And Boudreau perhaps over pursuing that ball. It pinballed around in front there, but Deloya chased it down, cleared it away. That will be a corner kick for the Clippers, one that the Dolphins, I'm sure, are happy to concede.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a miscommunication there, Joe, as Boudreau was kind of bearing down on it, but Deloya poked it away, and it ended up almost being on goal until Deloya caught up to it and was able to spill it out. But it leads to another set piece here, and I believe that's Carty on the far sideline taking this one.
Carty, left-footed corner kick toward the near post, and it trickles in. Your guess is as good as mine as to who got a foot on it. They are celebrating with number 15, Reagan Pecci.
That's her,
so
yep.
It is Pecci who delivers the go-ahead goal as the Clippers have regained a 4-3 lead, and we've already seen 2 more goals go up on the scoreboard less than 9 minutes into half number 2.
Yeah, Pecci from Carty, Joe, and you know, again, it happens because the Dolphins squander a defensive opportunity in their own end. Rebecca Deloya is forced to kind of spill one out in desperation, and what does that lead to? It leads to a corner kick, and the corner kick leads to the goal. So it creates this big domino effect when there's been some defensive miscues, and just like that, less than 10 minutes in, Concordia has regained their 1-goal advantage.
Good resilience demonstrated by Concordia College to bounce back from that Dolphins equalizer very quickly. As I can't remember the last time we saw 7 goals put up on the scoreboard between 2 teams here at the CSI Soccer Complex. It's been a while. As Pelinkovic throws in long toward Laval, it's shouldered away. And it will be a throw-in to be taken by Pelinkovic. Dolphins take that throw-in quickly. It's a good throw-in toward Laval, but she can't put it in front as that finds the outside frame of the net.
Ashley Kuzlik will come in for Concordia here as we have our first substitution of the second half. That was a good reset by the Dolphins, Joe, on the sideline. Laval just couldn't turn on that ball fast enough, and she kind of shanked it wide and hit the side of the goal. But another good opportunity for the Dolphins, kind of spilling over and forcing the counterattack.
Well, Carty takes the goal kick and pinballed around there once again, but Clippers came away with it for a moment. As this is Calvert up ahead to Carty. That ball rolling a bit long as Clippers tried to retreat. Pelinkovic, long throw in toward Laval again. Headed up in the air by Marino. Back onto the foot of Pelinkovic. She tries to keep it in play and does for a moment, but cannot any longer as the whistle blows down around the corner, and it will be a free kick for Concordia.
So I guess they called a foul there right near the corner flag. Carty again taking it.
Had a hard time hearing the whistle to my right, as I didn't hear it blow in that instance either, as that one is over the near sideline. Dolphins throw in. Aparicio again throws in toward Laval. That one too high. Headed by Long, knocked down by Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic fighting for it against Pecci, and it is sent out of play once again. Series of Dolphins throw-ins here over the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and almost all of the action has been on the near side of the field, Joe, as well. Both teams, you know, Concordia's left attacking side, the Dolphins' right attacking side. That's where most of the play has been.
Well, we certainly won't complain about action along the near sideline, as that gives us a front row seat. Here comes Laval, chipping it into the box. Bracic giving chase. Bracic gets a foot on it. It appeared We'll see if that is a goal kick or a corner. It will be a goal kick. So Bracic did get a foot on it, but sent it wide.
Yeah, in that time, Kogan got such a late break to the ball. That's got to be her ball right in front of her own goal mouth. She got there late, and the ball kind of jumped up and bit Bracic. I don't think she expected it to be right in front of her. She came bearing down on Kogan, and that was just an unfortunate break for the Dolphins because that was a really great opportunity.
There have been no shortage of chances in this game so far. Perhaps another one brewing here for the Clippers as Ramsey looked to send it into the box. Aparicio runs out of room.
Another corner.
That's another corner kick conceded by the Dolphins. Corners will now be even at 3 aside.
Well, Dolphins gave up a goal on the first corner kick of the game. That was an own goal, and they gave up a goal on the last corner kick of the game that Concordia's had. So this has been a problem here for the Dolphins as Carty will come into another one. This one, it's a short pass.
Well, Ramsey's already proven to be dangerous. She nearly got by Sandor, but nice job by Natalia to get her heel on it as Ramsey tried to play the ball past her. That one sent toward Boudreau, but once again, she makes the grab out of the air and will look to punt toward midfield.
Yeah, that time, that pass was intended for Taylor Luxuro, and Boudreau was able to play it on the fly and prevent any damage from being done.
Yagos looked to try and keep it in, but could not.
Dolphins have to settle down a little bit, Joe. They've been playing the ball, very long down the sidelines, very high in the air. They need to kind of settle it, more on the ground here, 5-10 yards at a time. Try to piece together a couple of passes. They haven't had many as we have a foul here whistled on Aparicio as Ramsey tried to get around her.
Be a free kick for the Clippers right in front of us. 31-35 to play in the second half. As Carty sends a long free kick toward the top of the box. Headed by Calvert, bodied away by Askew. Askew clears toward midfield for Laval. Bracic giving chase as Laval knocked that ball up into the air. Bracic is there. Kuzlik pursuing Bracic, forces her to give it up. This is Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic appeared to be looking for Yagos there, but it's blocked. And now Pelinkovic will send it back to Deloya. Deloya moving into the center of the field. Sandor. Sandor has Aparicio, and she finds her moving ahead. Aparicio shoots one off of Ramsey, knocked away by Calvert, but Sandor just got a foot on it as Duca sends it toward goal. And that could be trouble if you're not prepared for it, as Kogan able to field that one like a punt and makes the grab.
Well, I say that too, Joe, because the wind is blowing from left to right. So if you get into one, that could travel.
Much like that as Pelinkovic demonstrates her big leg, as we've seen her drive shots from very good distance away and score. If you saw our latest Sportsnet commercials, you can get a look at Mirsada Pelinkovic drilling one from a long ways out in one of last year's games. I believe you had the call on that one, Dave.
Yep.
Ramsey toward the center of the field. Pelinkovic there waiting. Dolphins have numbers here. Here comes Yagos. Yagos moving into the box. Now parallel with the touchline. Looks to play it in front, and another weak ball easily taken away by the Clippers. Calvert looking to turn and play the ball up ahead to Luxuro. Askew right there with her. And the Clippers will move it back.
Yeah, we talked about in the pregame, Joe, about the young talent on the Dolphins team, completing plays in the final third of the field. And there was a good example, Jordan Yagos doing a great job kind of sprinting down the length of the field, putting herself in a good position. And then a little too weak with the pass in the, in the goal mouth. Got to be a little stronger there. Trust her teammates to get to it.
Bracic with a touch that was too strong, and ball easily taken away by Concordia. Dolphins see an opportunity to go by the wayside there as Callie Long finds Duca. And another costly Dolphins turnover perhaps as Luxuro moves in, working against Askew, beats Askew, but Deloya once again chasing the play down from behind and making another big defensive stand for the Dolphins as she knocks that one out of play. And Dolphins not even having to concede a corner there as DeLoya wisely knocked it over the sideline.
Nah, that was a real underrated play by Rebecca DeLoya. I mean, she came out of nowhere to sweep that ball out of there. Nice job by the senior defender, recognizing her fellow defender, Caitlin Askew, was in trouble there, bailed her out.
DeLoya has had herself a tremendous game so far as that one played toward the middle of the box, knocked away by Long. And the Clippers will have to reset from just beyond midfield. Throw in by Marino up to Ramsey. Aparicio wanted an offsides call. I'm not sure the official could have seen it anyway. He's shielding his eyes over on the far sideline as Ramsey sees another shot blocked. DeLoya chips it up in the air, a bit too long for Yagos. Headed away by Carty, who gave Yagos a nice push there. And
they're calling it Concordia ball.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Dolphins there, as Carty clearly delivered a push to Yagos, but the foul occurred after, and I'm not sure Carty was involved in the play in question where the whistle was blown.
Well, Carty kind of threw that ball away in disgust at the call. Meanwhile, the call was in her favor.
Carty's free kick right at the top of the box. Bodied away by Long. Down onto the foot of Ramsey. Nicely done by Long to make sure Ramsey didn't get a chance, but the Dolphins still scrambling to get out of their own penalty area. As Aparicio receives that pass from Sandor, she's trying to find Laval up ahead once again, but that ball rolls too long. And it's played back to Kogan in goal. And Pelinkovic nearly intercepted that as Sandor may have been trying to fire one toward goal there, but that shot well wide. And we will have a throw-in in the corner.
Oh.
And the horn inadvertently blown as the throw-in belongs to the Clippers, so Galan and Mitchell will have to wait. Pelinkovic crosses it in front, but there's nobody there as that one was too high. And it looks like that rolled over the far sideline for a Clippers throw-in. Throw-in up toward Calvert, headed up in the air, and then she gets a foot on it.
I would see a size
it's out
ball.
of play. Galan and Mitchell finally find their way onto the field.
Okay? There can't be three of you and no one blows a horn, all right?
Bracic and Yagos head to the bench as it's thrown in by DeLoya. Long trying to keep possession with the Dolphins, and Sandor ultimately comes away with it and finds Duca. Duca up to Aparicio. Mitchell waiting on the right sideline instead. That ball intended for Laval, and it's cleared away by the Clippers.
Yeah, the Dolphins really pressing the issue now, Joe. They've kind of had possession these last 3 or 4 minutes. They've had the better of play.
We've seen a lot of action to our right in the second half, really outside of that goal scored by Concordia. Not much going on to our left in half number 2. It's Pelinkovic trying to find some room in the corner. She's cut off, but it'll be a throw-in for the Clippers as they knock the ball off of Pelinkovic and over the near sideline.
Yeah, you'd almost like to see kind of a Rebecca DeLoya kind of slip into that left forward position and kind of catch Concordia napping a little bit, maybe throw Sandor back there on defense, or maybe have Aparicio come back just to see and just to kind of keep that left side honest.
Well, here comes Aparicio. She has help. Mitchell flanking her as Aparicio finds Mitchell. Mitchell toward the front of goal, onto the foot of Laval, and I think that one was saved by Kogan. What a save.
Gorgeous save. Best save of the game for either team. That's Laval at point blank. She's almost automatic from there, and a beautiful feed as well from Mitchell.
No elevation on that shot, perhaps costing the Dolphins, but they do earn a corner kick taken by Pelinkovic. This one a good one, and it's knocked away by the Clippers. Sandor chases it down. This is Galan. Galan has room, but a poor pass there. I think she was trying to find Laval and could not.
Yeah, Galan's been such a special player on that wing position. Unfortunately, she just hasn't been able to complete a play.
Two teams fighting for it along the far sideline as Dolphins will come away with it. Pelinkovic up to Mitchell. Mitchell moving ahead, has Aparicio and finds her down in the corner. Aparicio moving slowly along the goal line, plays it toward the near post. It gets by Laval, who is taken down. No whistle once again, and it's cleared away by the Clippers.
Yeah, Laval wanted a penalty as well. Once again, gets in the ear of the head referee.
Throw in toward Laval. These have been dangerous. It's chipped away in the box by Concordia. Down goes Aparicio, and Ramsey comes away with it. Ramsey up to Luxuro. And she'll clear it up the field a bit, perhaps buying her defense a bit of a breather. They've been very busy over these last few minutes.
Yeah, and a lot of shouts coming up from the Concordia bench to get organized, get back in position. You could sense that they're on their heels a little bit, this Clippers team.
This is the best the CSI attack has looked all game long in terms of sustained pressure, but yet to see it pay off in terms of goal scoring over the last few minutes. But the pressure has certainly been on Sophia Kogan, and she's been up to the task as well. She deserves a lot of credit for keeping CSI from scoring their fourth goal. Dolphins will look to do that right here. Here comes Galan. Galan moving toward the middle of the field. Again tries to find Laval, perhaps Mitchell, but her pass is knocked down. Sandor. Up to Aparicio. Overlaps with Mitchell. Now Aparicio looking for some room to work. It's knocked away. Carty looks to clear and does.
Yeah, nice job by Carty there, one-on-one against Aparicio. Aparicio's been winning that battle the last 3 or 4 times down the pitch, and Carty returns the favor.
That time it was Pecci knocking it away from Pelinkovic as it's thrown into the box, headed toward the middle of the penalty area and cleared away by the Clippers. That one could have turned into trouble quickly, but Concordia does a nice job to clear it away. Wind picking up a bit here. It's at the back of the Clippers and will be for the remainder of the second half. As Duca sees that one get right past her, but Askew is there. Here comes Lanza. Plenty of room for Lanza, and Duca intercepts the pass. That one could have been trouble as well, as the Dolphins were nearly caught napping.
Yeah, a little flat-footed, the Dolphins now. A couple of different plays up the field.
They haven't been very busy at this end of the field so far in the second half, but Concordia has put a goal up on the scoreboard, and right now that's the difference in the game. As Askew gives it up to Duca, and Duca was able to keep it in. Concordia bench wanted a whistle. They don't get it, as Laval couldn't keep that one with CSI. DeLoya to Sandor.
Nope.
Sandor trying to split that back line and put it through to Laval, but it's intercepted. Aparicio.
Sandor's kind of gingerly out there right now, Joe. I know she has the brace on, but it looks like she's might have gotten that knee caught up or something.
I see that too, Dave. I've seen her adjusting that brace throughout the game as well. Laval up ahead of the field. Good ball from Mitchell. Laval has some space. Laval fires one off of a Clipper and then just sends it up in the air into no man's land. Here come the Clippers now. Haven't said Calvert's name much in the second half, as the Clippers haven't been on the attack often, but Calvert moves into the middle of the field, is dispossessed. Foul called against Calvert and the Clippers.
Yeah, that time Natalia Sandor got her back heel stepped on, and that'll be the result of the foul. So as we go under 20 minutes to play, really fun game. It was 3-2 at half. Dolphins scored early in the second half to tie things up, but Concordia has not trailed at all in this game, and they have the 1-goal lead.
An exciting finish is brewing from the CSI Soccer Complex. Dolphins trailing by a goal just inside of 19 minutes to play. As
Dolphins actually have the advantage in shots, Joe, now. It's 12-10 overall, 11-8 on goal.
You mentioned the Dolphins a bit flat-footed a couple of minutes ago. One player who won't be caught flat-footed this game is Kogan. She keeps those feet moving, even on the goal kicks, and has been very busy in net.
Yeah, and she's absolutely robbed Laval twice. Once in the first half on a quasi-breakaway, and then that point-blank save just 3 or 4 minutes ago, the save of the game.
Undoubtedly so, as that one seemed ticketed for the back of the net off the foot of Laval. Dolphins will look to get even once again on the attack right here, but Galan is muscled off the ball there, and that will send the Clippers back in the other direction. Calvert looking for Luxuro, ball just a bit too far ahead of her, but Duca clears it over the far sideline. It will be a throw-in for the Clippers.
Yeah, and Concordia definitely throwing a lot of numbers back on that back line. We saw 4 and 5 players kind of developing from back there, and only 2 at the top. Definitely devoting more numbers to the defensive side. So this is their first prolonged setup in the Dolphin zone in quite some time.
Pelinkovic across midfield. Ball played up along the far sideline. It's Galan. Galan toward Laval. It's knocked up in the air. Laval waiting for it to come down over the outstretched arms of Kogan, who nearly took a shot from her own player in front, but once again, nicely done by Sophia Kogan.
Yeah, Kogan tried to meet it, misjudged it at first, but was able to double back and get to it.
17 minutes to play in the second half. And the men's soccer team enjoying Kogan's wind-up on that punt. This is Deloya. Soft tap over to Sandor. Sandor looking for Laval. Mitchell also giving chase. And Kogan gets there first, but she's out of position. She retreats toward goal, and they'll get back in time. Aparicio a bit strong on that touch, and it rolls over the touchline. It will be a goal kick for the Clippers, as we'll have 4 substitutions coming on.
Lots of subs spilling in. Nicole Mignon will come in. Jordan Yagos will come in. Aparicio and Long out for the Dolphins.
It was Lindsay Whaley and Cassandra Ian Tomasi coming in for the Clippers, replacing number 12, Kayla Lanza, and number 2, Sarah Calvert. The traffic clears in front of us so we can take a seat as we're inside of 16 minutes to play in this game. Dolphins looking for an equalizer late. They have time, and they've put the pressure on in the second half. As Duca sends one toward goal. And once again, Kogan beats Laval to it.
Yeah, Kogan's been busy. I mean, she's made a number of saves in the game. 8 of them, to be exact. But she's done even more, cutting off, intercepting crosses, interrupting passes. So she's been very active.
Sandor in the midfield circle, as the Clippers really haven't been able to get anything going on the attack outside of the first 5 minutes or so in the second half. Dolphins have dominated possession, and Yagos moves into the attacking third now. It finds the foot of Mignon. Pelinkovic into the center of the field for Sandor, and Sandor sends that one right into the arms of Kogan. Well, Kogan will wind up once again on this one and sends it into the midfield circle. Sandor gets a foot on it. Aparicio. Dolphins right back in the attacking third of the field once again as Aparicio beats one marker. Nearly found Laval, and that one also nearly found its way all the way to the other side of the box onto the foot of Yagos. Instead, it's cleared away by the Clippers, but Duca stiff arms her challenger off the ball. That was Luxuro. As Laval bodies that ball down, has a little bit of room, looking to move in, and it is knocked away by Carty. That will be a corner kick for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins need to take their time here, get organized in the box, get some numbers up front. They're knocking on the door. It's time to push through and get that equalizer.
I know that voice. Over my left shoulder, that's headed away by Ramsey, and I think Mike Rybuski might be in the house. As Natalia Sandor plays it up to Amber Mitchell. Mitchell looking to beat a couple of defenders, and the Clippers are forced to clear again. Pelinkovic throws in toward the touchline, and the Clippers concede a corner.
Yeah, that. You know, those are the breaks you want to see. If you're the attacking team, they get another opportunity here via the corner kick. Mirsada Pelinkovic takes them all. Here's another.
The corner from Pelinkovic sent toward the far post. No Dolphin there waiting, but it comes down onto the foot of Laval, who is robbed by Kogan once again.
That's the third time that Kogan has absolutely robbed Samantha Laval. That was heading towards the far post, just under the crossbar, and Kogan is able to get to it. That's a great job that time by Laval.
Whistle blows, and foul is called against the Dolphins.
Yep, and for Kogan, that is save number 9, and we can honestly say that many of the 9 saves have been good ones for Sophia Kogan, and if Concordia holds on and wins this game, it's going to be a well-deserved win for Kogan again, and in a deceiving game statistically, because fans will look at this game and say, oh, they gave up 3 goals, but Kogan's been outstanding.
Play in the midfield now, shouldered by Pelinkovic. This is Aparicio. Aparicio sends it ahead, but there was no Dolphin waiting. Gets a foot on it a second time as Mitchell gives chase, as does Laval, but Kogan gets there first.
And looked like offside might have been the call against the Dolphins. Oh, that one was skied up. I know the linesman had his flag up. Not quite sure. Yeah, it will be offside.
All right, then. Offsides is the call. Free kick for Concordia. Clippers turn it over for a moment, but get it right back. Fortunately so, as that's sent ahead toward Whaley, down toward the corner, and sent away by Askew.
It will be number 20, Alexa Krawick will return. Another forward from Yonkers, freshman. And she will replace one of the goal scorers today, Leanne Ramsey. Scored her 3rd of the season.
Another throw-in upcoming for the Clippers. One after another. As we tick down toward 10 minutes to go in this one, Luxuro tried to chase it down along the touchline, but couldn't. Dolphins goal kick.
Yeah, it is an important goal kick for the Dolphins, too, because they don't get a lot of these balls really down the heart of the field, and Concordia really hasn't been given a lot of opportunities in the middle of the field. Let's see what the Dolphins can do with this to start some offense again.
Dolphins surrounding Krawick there. This is Mitchell up toward Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic moving ahead with some speed. See which direction the official points, and it is in favor of the Dolphins. A throw-in from down around the corner.
I don't agree with that at all either. I kind of agree with the Concordia bench. I don't think they touched that.
They certainly didn't think so out there on the pitch as they're calling for a double team of Laval. She got a foot on it. Yagos had an empty net in front of her but could not get a foot on the ball until it was too late. Her shot was blocked by Ian Tomasi.
Oh, Laval's got to be thinking, what do I have to do here to tie this game up? She's had 2 point-blank shots that have been saved by Kogan. That time she's able to slip one right past the defense very innocently, and it just goes past the goal mouth and just a little bit too far for Yagos.
Here comes Yagos again. Good ball toward Laval, and it is sent wide, but the flag was up.
Yeah,
offsides.
It's offside anyway, but man, Laval just missed again. She is knocking on the door. That was a nice pass, too, by Jordan Yagos. Just a half a step ahead of the play was Samantha Laval, who's got her 4th goal of the season here this afternoon, but number 5 will be the one that really gets this game equalized.
Here comes Sandor up to Mitchell. Sandor and Mitchell with a bit of a give and go. Mitchell sends one in front. Laval nearly got a foot on it. Is taken down again. No whistle as Pelinkovic sends one on goal, and it is saved by Kogan, and Laval is still down.
Yeah, slow getting up is Laval. Pelinkovic did put one on goal, forcing Kogan to make the save. There was a lot of bodies coming together there deep in the Concordia goal mouth. Laval still had an opportunity. That was kind of blocked in defensively. This is definitely the most amount of pressure we've seen the Dolphins put on any opponent this season. And, you know, even that game against Penn, the Dolphins really didn't put this much pressure on, didn't have this many quality opportunities.
I think I can safely say this is the best I've seen the Dolphins attack all season long in terms of sustained pressure. They have been phenomenal here in the second half, but Kogan at times has been better in goal, and that's the reason her team is still in front with 7:45 to play.
You wonder when the Dolphins will start to send Rebecca DeLoya out towards the front as well. Their normal defender.
Here comes Sandor. Nice move by Sandor to get to the inside, but that ball for Mignon, not enough on it, and not a lot of room to put that ball either, as the Clippers will clear it away. Luxoro has spent a lot of time chasing the ball down in that area of the field, but to no avail as the Clippers haven't had many chances in the second half.
Yep, we got just over 7 minutes to play here, and pretty much the same on your screen as well. Official time will be kept on the field. There will be a little stoppage time if we don't adjust.
Dolphins to throw in here a second time as Aparicio finds the head of Pelinkovic. Laval redirects it up ahead, and the Dolphins nearly close that space in time to create an opportunity. As Askew got a foot on that ball, this could be trouble. Here comes Ian Tomasi. Nice play there defensively by Duca. She's pursued from behind. It's taken away. Duca goes down. Able to get back up as Aparicio sends it up into the air. Ball now with Luxuro.
Offside.
And offsides is the call.
Yeah, nobody on the Clippers like that call there. As Dolphins will get a free kick out of this one, and helter-skelter play there near midfield and in the Dolphins' end.
Here comes DeLoya. It's been a busy game so far for her. As Yagos moving ahead, had a step. Nice move to turn back, and Kogan once again denies the Dolphins late in this game. That is shot on goal number 14 for the College of Staten Island.
I don't know. I would lean towards Joe on that.
Scoreboard gave it a shot on goal.
Yep.
As men's soccer continues to enjoy all of Kogan's punts. Two teams battling for possession just outside the midfield circle.
Ooh, that one might have caught Cowick up top. She's okay.
This is DeLoya. Moving up the far sideline. Here come the Dolphins once again. They have kept the pressure on all second half as DeLoya too quick in the box for a couple of Clippers, and the double team is what it will take to dispossess her as Dolphins bench wanted a foul. They did not get it. Inside of 5 minutes to play now. Throw in for the Clippers. Pair of subs coming on.
And you know what, Joe? The Dolphins have been pounding on the right side, and now they're finally starting to switch the field up a little bit, and they're starting to get some good runs. They've had Jordan Yagos make some good runs on the left side. They finally sent DeLoya up the left sideline, and they are generating some chances there. So you kind of figure that Coach Caceres has recognized that a little bit with the Concordia defense and is making adjustments.
Well, I said it before. I'll say it again. If the Dolphins don't get even in this game, it won't be for a lack of opportunities to do so, as they have had many chances, some of which were robbed by Kogan. She's been spectacular in goal in the second half as Aparicio works down in the corner. She has spent a lot of time in the corners, crosses one in front toward Laval. It rolls over the head of Laval. Laval goes down again, still asking for a call and won't get it. As Duca tried to run it down, goes out of play. And she will quickly throw it in. Sandor toward Mitchell, knocked away by the Clippers. Sandor worked her way through and found Mitchell, who is dispossessed by Ramsey. Ramsey and Mitchell now battling forward along the near sideline. Possession to Concordia. 4 minutes to play.
Every possession now and every stoppage becomes super important here for Concordia defensively and obviously for the Dolphins offensively.
Possession awarded to the Dolphins on that one. It looked like Duca got a foot on it, but the official didn't think so. As Aparicio throws in, it's headed up in the air by the Clippers and out of play by the Dolphins. Clippers are perfectly content with the two teams battling forward in midfield right now. As long as they avoid that costly turnover in the midfield area, they should be able to run out this clock. Dolphins looking to keep the pressure on for another 3:20.
Oh, that's a tough loss.
Well, speaking of turnovers in the midfield, that one was taken away by Pecci. Duca and Pecci tangled up there, and Duca goes down. Whistle was blown, foul called as Duca loses a cleat.
Yeah, she kind of got flat tired on that one, Joe. She wanted more than just a quick stoppage. But this clock is still moving, so Duca's got to get herself together and back into this game. Understanding the bigger picture here, the Dolphins need to get themselves moving up the field.
Well, Duca has typically been taking those free kicks. Dolphins seem to be waiting for her to do so again, and instead Aparicio took it. Pelinkovic in the midfield, that's over our tents and out of play. Ball comes in quickly. Pelinkovic to throw. Pelinkovic throws up over the head of Laval. Knocked down by Marino. And over the near sideline again. Pelinkovic quickly throws in. Seems like the wind may be blowing in favor of the Dolphins right now as Laval tries to send one toward the box. And our ball runner being kept busy over our shoulder.
Victoria Cray getting a workout in down the sideline. Concordia's going to make her work.
Yagos.
Oh, it could be a foul.
Muscled off the ball again. Foul certainly could have been called. I think you're right about that, Dave.
Yeah, total body on that shielding.
And that ball rolls over the top of our tent and lands right next to us. Dave will chase that one down as the action resumes. 1:40 to play. Well, fortunately for Victoria Cray, play will slow down for a moment here as the ball is rolled out toward midfield, and it will be a free kick for the Clippers all the way at the other end, and they will look to play the ball down into the corner as we approach 1 minute to play.
Yeah, and Joe, the game kind of got tilted in the second half. The Dolphins now 14 shots to Concordia's 8. Those are shots on goal, and Dolphins down by 1 on the scoreboard with 1 minute. You hear it coming over our microphone. Dolphins down to their last couple of chances.
Clippers with it right now. Bench wants them to play it forward. Dolphins not allowing that as Yagos has some room, nearly found Laval, but that ball redirected by Laval, and that needs to be a penalty.
That has to be a penalty.
It will be.
It will be. No, it's a corner.
Or not.
It's a corner. I mean, okay, I can understand. Came in really late, though, and played more leg than ball, but Dolphins still have an opportunity. Take your time here. You got 30 seconds.
Well, Laval got her whistle, not the one she wanted. As that's off the head of Yagos, it rolls toward goal, and Kogan able to get on top of it, and that just might do it.
Yeah, that just might do it indeed. Mitchell was in the neighborhood, but Kogan got to it first, scrambled in, and not really sure why Kogan just threw that one down, but it looks like Concordia will hold on. Very entertaining game, Joe. Best game we've had on Sportsnet this season, I believe, and a great effort by the Dolphins. They come up short. They lose their third straight, but this was a good one, and it ends in a Concordia win.
And if you're the College of Staten Island following this game, you cannot be disappointed with the way that you played, especially in that second half. The Dolphins kept the pressure on for the entirety of half number 2. Never really gave Sophia Kogan or the Concordia defense a chance to breathe. Outside of that goal scored by the Clippers in the first 5 minutes of the second half, they had very little to no attacking pressure in the second half, but fortunately for them, their defense and Sophia Kogan in goal were able to stand up to the Dolphins' attacking pressure, hold on, and come away with with the victory.
Yeah, the Dolphins, outshot Concordia in that second half. I believe it was 8-2, and they did get the goal. They got the equalizer early in the second half, but couldn't get the equalizer once Concordia went back up by a goal, which was soon after the game winner by Pecci was the difference, and the final score is 4-3. And just like you said, Joe, just to take the words right out of your mouth again, can't be disappointed in the effort by the Dolphins. This is their first game against the NCAA Division II opponent. It's nice to know the Dolphins are right on par and competed very valiantly. They fell behind 2-0. They never called it quits. They never hung their heads. They kept attacking. They got a couple of big goals, and we got an entertaining game out of it.
A very entertaining game indeed, and that has been the norm on Sportsnet so far this year. All the more reason to tune in throughout the 2019 season for CSI Dolphins soccer, the rest of September and into October. And then, of course, basketball will resume come November. But, again, you mentioned the shot tally, Dave. The Dolphins really poured it on in the second half. The final shot tally, 16-10 in favor of CSI. Shots on goal, 14-8 in favor of the College of Staten Island. They also won the battle in corner kicks, 7-3, 17 total fouls called in the game, but the one number that matters, goals scored, Concordia wins this one by a final score of 4-3.
Yeah, and you see on your screen our upcoming broadcast will be off the air for 7 days, and we'll be back next Wednesday for a very rare midweek doubleheader, Joe, as we'll have men's soccer first against Medgar Evers College at 2 o'clock next Wednesday, and women's soccer at home against York College at 4 o'clock. 2 games and 2 teams that the Dolphins have had success against in the past. It's all coming up next week. A rare Wednesday doubleheader, 2 and 4, will be back on the air for men's and women's soccer.
So 1 week from today, we will see you again here on CSI Sportsnet. We thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Once again, our final score, the Clippers of Concordia College 4 and the College of Staten Island 3. If you can't join us here at the CSI Soccer Complex next Wednesday for our men's and women's soccer doubleheader, be sure to join us right here on CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com for that broadcast, and enjoy the rest of your evening.